Y'all tell you been from the doorway in, the doorway out. How's everybody doing? I know it's been a while since I posted. I was gonna do a little, little video about the Tachi girls winning the state title, but there was just a whole lot of files that I had to move around, and it was really hard work. I wasn't able to pull it together, and I might just double back on that video later on. But today is a very special day, and I want to share it with y'all. And today is my birthday, March 30th. I was born in 1996, and I'm turning 27. It's a real prestigious accomplishment. It's something that I'm real sentimental about, because where I'm from, it's not common to see somebody doing what I'm doing at this age with my life. When it came to school, when it came to this music, and I just want to do this video to give you more of a context to my life, to show you why I really enjoy my birthday. It's a time whenever I get to reflect on how far I've came, and it's a time for me to plot where I'm gonna go. And that's just how I've always felt every time a birthday comes around. And I just feel like there's just it feels like I've grown mentally and I've grown physically another year. I feel it, and in a good way. A lot of people, they say, oh, I turned this age, now I'm starting to feel it in my back, and I'm starting to feel it in my legs. And I try to stay away from that, because us as people, we tend to speak things into existence. So if we're feeling some type of way and we're going to speak it, and then we're going to be feeling that. And that reflects back to my mentality, is that you're only as old as you allow yourself to be. You can be 50, you can be 60, you can be 70, but as long as your mentality up here is at a younger age, you'll be fine. And yeah, so that's just what my video is gonna be about today. Today I got mountain smoke. I got some mountain smoke from home. Shout out to Pino's. It's a place that my grandpa and my uncle both have gone, and it's a place where I continue to do my business at. So I like rolling mountain smokes on my birthday, because I was always taught that whenever you're about to tell a story, whenever you're about to share a teaching, you always gotta roll a mountain smoke, and it's gonna help guide you, and it's gonna give you strength to overcome the hardest parts of the story, or the stuff that you didn't think that was gonna be told. So I rolled me a couple of mountain smokes, and I want to share with you a little bit of my life, a little bit of how far I came, and give you a little bit of context to show you that I'm not just some person that decided to do YouTube, or some person that's just like trying to pursue this music stuff with no light at the end of the tunnel, because that's not how it is. And I appreciate y'all for being a part of my life. I appreciate y'all for allowing me to call myself a reservation rap artist. Everybody on my friends list, all of my subscribers, all of you contributed to who I am today as I turn 27. And that's something very special to me, and that's something that's special to my family, because a lot of the people that been rocking out with me since day one, they've known the trials and tribulations that I've been through, and they know all the stuff that I've really had to do to overcome it. It's kind of funny, because as I roll this mountain smoke and I'm talking to y'all, it's kind of like I'm in a ceremony. It kind of feels like I'm in a meeting right now, and I'm about to talk. So let me start this properly. Y'all tell bene shit y'all L.O.G resin shit. Så he gleaning slowing on the stage touching you, but she's chin key on it that should say auto hot toy that should. I'm from Tallahatchie, New Mexico. To be exact. My grandma is from Buskla. Just to be exact, it's Guinea and Senadzo. That's where I'm from. I'm from the 491. I'm a reservation rap artist, and I'm doing things for my community. I spent a lot of time out here in the city in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've asserted myself in school, and I've had several jobs here and there, and it's been a journey. Yeah, I first came out here in 2014. I graduated. I was 18 years old, and I was going to school for mechanical engineering. I did my best with school. When I came from Tohatchee High School, the education there isn't very it doesn't put you at a prestigious level like other schools. So when I started at UNM, I had to start the lowest math possible, and you don't even receive credit for that. It's called Math 100. I took that class and I worked my way up from 101, 102, 103, 121, 153. I did Calculus 1, Calculus 2, trigonometry, of course, algebra all over again. Yeah, so at this point, I spent 6 years going to school for mechanical engineering at University of New Mexico. I've taken almost like 10 math classes in them 6 years. I like math, but I wasn't good at it. I had to work at it every single day. I had to pick myself up every day and drag myself to class to go learn how to work numbers. I had to do this over and over and over every semester. You know, there were semesters where I did fail, so I had to retake that class again the next semester. There were times wherever I tried my best, but it still wasn't enough, so I didn't get a C. So of course I had to do it over. There were, I took a science class. I wasn't able to get past that science class until I had to take it over. I've taken chemistry. I've taken all of these classes at UNM for 6 years. And on top of that, 2 years of that, I did Native American Studies. So I wanted to learn more about myself, more about my people, and try to educate myself. So that way, if I'm ever put in a position where I got to argue for my people, if I'm put in a position where I got to speak up for somebody, you got more weight to what you say if you're educated in the things that you know. And from a young age, I've always kind of had this thirst for knowledge. I've always wanted to learn new things. I've always wanted to educate myself about where we have come from, where we have been, and where we're going to be heading to as a tribe, as a nation, as a people, and just as a Navajo man myself. So, of course, going through college, and you're going to figure things out. You're going to, you're going to try things and you're going to fail. You're going to have to bounce back. And mommy and daddy ain't there to hold your hand. They're not there to tell you, like, this is how it's going to be. They can offer advice, but at the end of the day, it's all you. It's you putting yourself to bed. It's you waking up. It's you going to class. It's you working hard. And at the end of the day, you start asking yourself, why am I doing this? And at some point, when I asked myself that, I started realizing the reason why I was doing it was for me. I really enjoyed doing it to make my folks proud. I enjoyed doing it to show people that a res kid could make it at a university. But at the end of the day, I just wanted good things for myself. I wanted something different than what I'm used to growing up. And I speak to that passionately because there's not too many people that will encourage other people to make it out. To make it out and to stay out and to continue doing good things for their family and to be somebody. To be somebody that contributes to the legacy of the area. Somebody that can give people hope that just because you're from this area, it doesn't mean that you gotta live a hard life or you just gotta give up or you just gotta, or that things are just the way they are just because. Nah, like I've always been that kid. I don't know if it's just because, I spent a lot of time with my grandmas and like I know how that is growing up there. I don't know if it's because, like my moms, my pops, they got good land right now. They got a barn, they got a house, they got cars and this and that. But people always just see that. They always just see that now in this time frame, in this point in time. They think it just happened like that overnight. But it wasn't like that. I done watched my moms and my pops grow what they got from the ground up where there was just dirt. There was nothing. I done helped my pops build that barn and You know, I helped him all the additions, everything. You know, I was kind of like his tail, and just trying to learn what I can when I can, and but I'm sorry, I'm kind of moving out of chronological order because I know there's a lot of confusion when I talk about my pops, you know, my dad, and I never really I never really cleared it up in any videos. I never really said anything, but you know, like, it's my birthday. I'm trying to explain who I am as a person, so I'm gonna let y'all know, you know, like, I was born out here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was born at UNM Hospital on today, March 30th, 27 years ago, and you know, it was when my mom was in college, and all 4 years of her college career, I was with her, and she graduated from UNM. She you know, she did her best in school. She graduated, and it was time for her to move home, back to Tohatchee, back to, you know, her mom's area. And unfortunately, you know, my biological father and my mom didn't work out, and it happens. You know, it happens, especially, you know, everybody's young at one point, and it just happens. And by the time I was 5 years old, when we were about ready to move back, you know, my stepfather came into my life. You know, I was very, my mom found somebody that was, you know, a hard worker. I was very fortunate to have, you know, for my stepfather to come into my life the way he did, because you always hear these stories about step parents, you know, like making your life kind of like a living hell. You know, like really making things hard on you and things like that. And I mean, obviously there were some rough patches growing up, but from a young age, I just had to understand what it looks like. You know, what real effort looks like. What he was trying to do, what he was trying to teach me, and he's taught me a lot. You know, working with vehicles, working on my own two hands. Just giving me the gift of labor, you know, showing me how to work hard for myself, showing me how to take pride in the work that I put in. My stepfather, he taught me rodeo, you know, he taught me how to team rope. I won me a buckle when I was about 14, you know, because my step-pops taught me. And, you know, like I said, we built all the structures around the house. We worked on everything at his family's, and, you know, his family really embraced me, and that's just kind of like how I got lucky. You know, my step pops' dad, his name is, you know, my grandpa David. He started out with all of this cattle, and he started, you know, he's the one that started with the ranching stuff, and he passed it down to, you know, his son. And I think my grandpa David and my grandma Sissy were just happy that I was willing to be my stepdad's tail. You know, everywhere that he went, everywhere that we went, you know, we always kind of worked. We were kind of like a team. And they really enjoyed that. And I enjoy it too. To this day, I'll go back home and, you know, he calls me son. I call him dad. See, that's how we address each other. I don't call him my stepdad. That's the reason why on all these videos, you know, I say my pops. Because, you know, like, out of respect for him, he's the one that raised me since I was 5. And on top of that, you know, my biological father, he passed away when I was 16, you know, just about to turn 17. So like I said, maybe 10, 11 years ago. It was a real rough time for me, because as a 16-year-old, you're at that phase where you're trying to find your identity. You're trying to figure things out. And one of the things that I always looked forward to was around my birthday. You know, he'd send me stuff, and he was incarcerated, so, you know, he'd send me things from the penitentiary. And I used to look forward to getting the gifts and whatnot, and, you know, getting a call. But eventually, when I grew up, I started dealing with my emotions, started dealing with, you know, my own perspectives. And it was really hard not having my biological father really around. Like I know he wanted to, but it just wasn't possible, you know, because of his situation with the law. And you know, my step pops, he did everything that he can to, you know, be there for me. So I was just in that confusing stage of like growing up, you know, trying to figure out what it's like to be a man. And I think my stepfather, you know, his name is Chris. He's really molded me into the man that I am today. He's helped me understand people. He's helped me observe. He's helped me really observe my surroundings, observe people, how people move, how people talk, and he makes me like actually think. And you know, that's the situation with my pops. So when I say my pops, you know, I'm talking about my stepfather, but you know, that's my dad right there. You know, my biological father, he's gone. You know, I love him. I miss him, but you know, I still in contact with that side of the family. But right now in this time frame, you know, like on the rest of my life, you know, when I say my pops, I mean like my stepdad. You know, but you're never gonna hear me say stepdad, so I'm just trying to make that clear. But yeah, so I'm in college. You know, I'm doing what I can with education. I'm taking engineering courses. I'm really doing my best, and you know, I lost some people along the way. You know, I lost some good people, an uncle. I lost some cousins, and that really played on me because I'm a family person. I'm a family man. I enjoy having my family around. I enjoy being with my family. And when certain things like that happen, it really makes you question, like, what are you doing with your time? Is it really worth it? I'm spending all this time out here in school, and yet people back home are kind of like are leaving this earth. So I had to ask myself, like, what is it? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? At the same time, I'm being broke. I'm a broke college student. So I decided to take a leap of faith, and you know, I decided to take a break from school. Take a break from school. I was taking calculus 3. I was taking physics 2. I was up there. I was just about to get into the engineering program, and I just said I need a break. I'm about to lose my mind. So I take that break. So I took that break. The minute I started that break, I lost my job at the library on campus, because if you're not a student, you can't work there. So I had to land on my feet. I stopped going to classes because I stopped. You know, like it was just I didn't pass. You know, I didn't give the grades that I should have gone. You know, because there's so much stuff happening at home, and I don't mean to blame people back at home. I don't mean to blame any situation. It's just like it is what it is. When you're in school, you got to be 110% in it. Mentally, all the way in it. You got to be ready to go every single day. And at some point, I just lost that drive. I just really broke down, you know? Like, I just had like a meltdown and just started like just freaking out. Just kind of like, what am I doing? Why I ain't got no money? Why I haven't not graduated yet? I spent 6 years here. Tuition's even expensive. My scholarship's running out. You know, people are passing away. Like, it's just, man, it was a whole debacle for me. So I took the leap of faith, and I stopped, and I got me a job at Taco Bell and Starbucks. I ended up working there for maybe like 6 months apiece, and then I left. I left both spots. I worked on both of them at Central. It was a pretty crazy environment just because it was on Central. You know, you see a lot of crazy things out here in Albuquerque. People always like, oh, it's not that crazy. It's not that crazy. Try living out here, bro. It's wild out here. And if you're a tourist, I don't want to hear nothing about it, because you ain't had to live here. And you know, after Starbucks and Taco Bell, so I used to close up Starbucks at 4 a.m. in the morning, and then I'd have to open up Starbucks at 5 a.m. So that's how crazy my schedule got, and I was doing that for maybe like 6 months. After that, I ended up getting a job at the pizza joint, and I was hustling out there as just a delivery boy. I believe I was getting paid almost like just $7 even an hour, because supposedly I was supposed to keep the tips. And I stayed there for maybe about like 9 months. Stayed there for like 9 months just delivering pizzas, just learning what I could. I was prepping the food in the back, so I was chopping up the ingredients, making sure it was good to go on the toppings. I was taking the orders, the cashier register, and when I had to, I was even making the pizzas. I was throwing it down, putting it in the oven, making all the other stuff on the menu. We had Philly cheesesteak. We had what else we got? We got garlic knots. We had buffalo wings. We had all of that, and I was kind of in charge of all that for a while. Even when everybody started quitting, everybody started walking out on the boss. Like, I still hung around and I still took care of everything. Like, I was manning the whole ship, and I just wanted a raise, and I wasn't able to get that. So I kind of stopped working there. And this was right before COVID, right? So at the time, I also had another job. I had a second job at Intel. So I was working at Intel doing what I had to do over there, hard labor stuff. And my day would start over at Intel at 7 a.m. in Rio Rancho. So I'd have to go across town. And, I had to leave here by maybe at least like 6:20, maybe like 6:20ish in the morning to pull up, and I clock in at 7, work there. And I did that. I was coming up on maybe almost about a year. And then I got comfortable. I was like, okay, I don't think I need a pizza job no more. So like, things weren't working on the pizza job too, with like the whole hours and the raise, and it wasn't happening. So I just said, hey, I love this place, but I don't think I can keep this in my schedule anymore. Like, I've done this for almost like 9-10 months, both jobs, and I said my body is it's hurting. I leave in the morning before the sun comes up, and I come back when the sun is down, because I get done at the pizza job at 10 o'clock. Hold on. Hello? Good morning. Oh, hey, Auntie Judy, how's it going? That's good. Thanks, Auntie. I appreciate it, Auntie. I love you guys so much. I miss you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Auntie. Alright, I will. Alright. Alright, thank you, Auntie. I love you. Have a great day. Bye. It's my Auntie Judy. Where was I at now? Oh yeah, so I was working at the pizza joint, right? And I told him, I said, nah. So I ended up quitting that pizza joint, and I was just living my best life, working at Intel, hanging out with the guys, and then all of a sudden, COVID hits, right? COVID hits, and all of these massive layoffs happen, and I happen to be part of the layoffs, and like me and a couple of other native guys got laid off, and it was just kind of like, what next? What next? And I was kind of balling on unemployment, because I was trying to look for a job, but I couldn't find anything. See, I'm not the type to just sit on unemployment, just be like, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's straight. I'll just do this. No, like, I was like, man, I gotta get me a job. I'm losing my mind hanging out in the crib just all day, like, it's just like Ashley had work and all that, and I was just at home, and it was crazy. And that COVID thing happened, we were just inside, we were just, man, it was some crazy times. And then after COVID kind of started easing down, since I was home all the time, I started taking up hobbies like I really enjoyed having an aquarium. I don't know why, don't ask me, but I had this big old fish tank. I got this fish tank, and I put it in the office, and that was kind of like my thing. Like, I was cleaning it constantly, and I was just, because I was around all the time, so I was just cleaning the tank, maintaining the fish. I had nice fish and things like that. I had the whole light set up, everything. And I ended up going into PetSmart because I kept getting fish supplies. And this is maybe like the fourth time that I've been in there in 1 week, and I just started teasing the manager, and I said, hey, I'm in here so much, I might as well just apply for a job. And they just started laughing, and they're like, yeah, we got some spots open if you want a job, and so I applied, did my thing. They called me back, they interviewed me, and I got the job. So I was there kind of like in the very beginning. I was kind of throwing around dog food, like just stocking dog food in the back, and then somehow I ended up my way on the register. So I was just kind of the register the whole time. So in the peak of COVID, I was handling their money, taking care of them, and that was kind of risky for me. I honestly didn't enjoy being on the front lines like that when it came to that, but I had to do what I had to do for a paycheck, and that was insane because that was for some change. That's for a little bit of money, and I did that for maybe like 6 months until I started realizing like, man, I gotta make me a move. I really gotta make me a move. Like I gotta do something else, and I enjoyed the discounts, like shout out PetSmart. You get discounts when you work there. It's like 50% off dog food and things like that. Like whatever you need for your pets, they got you covered. But I ended up having to hit up my homie from that I haven't spoke to in maybe like 3 years at this point. And I said, hey, yo, Charles, what's up, bro? I remember like 3 years ago you were telling me about that one DC job. And, I was like, no, I don't think I can do it. And I said, well, my back's against the wall and I think I might just need to do it. Is that job still open? And he's like, yeah, homie. He's like, this job's always open. Everybody always quits. The turnaround rate's so crazy. People last only like 2 weeks here average. And I said, for real? And he's like, yeah. And he said, apply. He's like, then they'll call you. And sure enough, I applied. That HR called me. They set up a tour. I went to go check out the warehouse and what I had to do, and they walked me through some stuff and just kind of eased me into it. And I just kind of looked around, and it's kind of like the tour to see if this is really what you want to be a part of, or if not. When I walked in, I seen it. I was like, man, this place is crazy. This place is like, all you can see is just like the sheer will of people just wanting to work for their money. I've done construction. I've worked in food joints. I've been a security guard. I've been I've been a busboy, but I've never been in an environment where people are just treated as like athletes. Aside from actual athletic stuff like playing basketball, semi-pro team, or going to the NFL, things like that. Like people getting paid to be athletes. I haven't seen that until I walked into the warehouse and I seen people like picking boxes. And I see people picking boxes. I see people, going about their business, wrapping the boxes, wrapping the pallets, putting it on the dock. And everything is just kind of like, a meshed motion. Like everybody has their own purpose in there and everybody's doing their own thing. And it was just cool to watch. And in that moment, I realized that was something that I wanted to be a part of, because the last time I was a part of a team was probably when I was in high school. And I love that. I love being in a team environment. I love working with other people. Don't get me wrong. If it comes to me working with myself, like I can do that too. I have self-motivation and, I have my own ambition. But I also enjoy working with other people. I'm a good team player, and I just want everybody to win. And so when I seen that, I set up the orientation, and it's so funny because the orientation happened to be the week of my birthday. So I always joke, like a birthday gift to myself was like got me that job. So I remember my birthday, I ended up spending it in orientation, and I was just in there. It was like a 4-day orientation, and every day was almost like 8 hours long. It was intense. It was cool though, and once I got the job, I started out and I just kept telling myself quitting is not an option. Sometimes you got to tell yourself that, quitting is just not an option. That's not something that shouldn't even be in your mind. That's something, I know it's in the back of everybody's mind, but it's not something that you should, dwell on. Because you'll never know what you're capable of until you're put in a situation full of pressure. Until you're put in a position where you have to perform, or you're put in a position where you got to deliver. And that was the perfect opportunity for me to think. And what we do with opportunities, we live opportunities good. Took it, grabbed the opportunity by its horns. I've been working there ever since. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years this week. I've lost 70 pounds. You know, when I started, I was 260 pounds. I was in a place where I was just about to let it all go and just, oh, this is the part where I get the dad bod. This is the part where, I just get big. And, I was just kind of giving up on basketball. At this point, I haven't touched basketball in 3 years. And then I got this job and I lost 70 pounds. Because right now I'm 190 pounds and I'm back to playing basketball. And it's just kind of crazy to see how life can be. It can be up, it can be down, it can be sideways and this way. But if you just got a good head on your shoulders, like, you'll always persevere, you'll always bounce back. And who knows, maybe you got to go through the storm in order to see the shine. You just might end up being in the better position after all of that struggle than you were before. But you had to go through that struggle in order to experience what it's like to persevere. And this is something that I've felt like I've learned over the course of having these jobs, over the course of being denied opportunities that I really wanted. You haven't seen me post for the past couple weeks because, I really... if I can keep it honest with you, you haven't seen me post in a couple months or, in a few weeks than I've planned because, I've honestly been down and out. I've been kind of I want to say sad, but maybe frustrated because we done had some opportunities come our way. Opportunities to, I didn't get the part, so I guess I can talk about it now, but I'm not going to say specifically, but opportunities to be in movies. You know what I mean? Both me and my producer, we had opportunities to be in movies a few times. We had opportunities to win awards, at the New Mexico Hip Hop Award thing. We had opportunities to, be on stage 49, but we couldn't even get that. So from all of these, what am I going to do? I could decide just to be all mad about it and just say, oh, forget it, I'm not going to do this no more, or no, people are scheming, or people are conniving, or people are plotting against me. But nah, what I choose to do? I choose to sit back, assess the situation, and figure things out. What did I do wrong this past year that we've been out with this music? What can I do right? How do I expand my following? How do I continue to do what I do, without being down and out about losing these opportunities? These are questions that I have in my head as I'm going about my job at work, as I'm going about my day, and I'm just letting you know how I am. This is just how it is. I turned 27. I'm a year wiser, and I'm just sharing with y'all my self-reflection of my life up to this point. If it helps you, then it helps you. If it don't, then that's cool. Like I said, it's just another story to tell, and maybe it's something I can bounce off of you and mentally, and maybe you'll think about it later on. But that's just kind of a brief history of me and who I am. Obviously, I can't tell you all about me in one video, but the most important, prestigious things in my life, the most important things that have messages in them, that's the stuff that I try to relate to y'all. That's the stuff I try to, let y'all know about. Because more than likely, there's a majority of everybody out there that's watching that have been in situations that I've been in. You guys understand the examples that I'm giving. And, y'all real for that. That's the reason why you guys mess with this channel. Because you guys relate to me. And that's all I ever wanted. I can sit in a room full of people I do not know, but as long as we can relate to one thing, we're going to have a conversation for hours. That's just the sort of person I am. And if I don't know something that you know about, I'm going to ask you questions. I'm not going to tell you to explicitly teach me every step of what you know. I'm just going to ask the questions that I need in order to get what I want out of you, for the information. And that's a skill, that's a survival skill that you learn from the res. You can't ever expect anybody to save you. You can't expect everybody to do anything for you. You gotta kind of learn as you go. Even if it's just one little teaching that somebody says here, and then next thing you know, later on down the road, you're like, oh, I remember that. Let me try it that way. It might be a little bit better. So that's just kind of who I am. And it's this beautiful day, this beautiful morning, I went outside and I sprinkled some corn pollen and I prayed. And right now I'm firing up the mountain smoke because I'm going to I'm just gonna have a good day. I'm gonna have some good thoughts, and this is just kind of how the internet wanted me to spend my birthday. If it's how it's happening now, then it was meant to be. See, this mountain smoke, is something that I've always had a relationship with. It's something that I've always smoked before my exams in class. Whenever I was, very sad, very very lost in a very dark place, I could always rely on this mountain smoke to bring me back. And whenever I come across friends or acquaintances that are going through rough times and they don't know how to deal with it, like this is what my grandpa taught me. My grandpa Woodrow Long Sr. This is passed down from me from my great grandparents, like this way of teaching, this way of healing, this way of going about your life. And I never knew how prestigious it was until I went to college because, like I said, when you're in college, you don't have your mother, you don't have your father. It's just you. It's just you and your own self-will to be a better person. It's just you and your own thoughts of who you want to be, what you want to accomplish. It's at those certain points you got to ask yourself what motivates you, what inspires you to wake up in the morning and to do great things or to perform at the highest peak of your capabilities. On the court, off the court, at work, just at home. How are you going to be the best version of yourself possible? That's what I constantly ask myself because I'm not perfect. As much as I try to apply myself and be perfect and assertive, like I'm still not perfect. Some people will go their entire life swearing that there's nothing wrong with them. Doing anything that they can just not to blemish their image whenever they're in public. Or some people even got too much pride to say, I love you. And I tell my girl that every day. I'm never too macho to say that. And that's something that my mom's taught me. Like I can say I love you to my step pops, my pops. I can say I love you to my uncle, and it's uncomfortable for men to say it, but I'm trying to break that sort of stigma. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think I ever really heard my uncles tell me that, but I'm trying to break that. Like I love you, and they'll look at me and just kind of like, man, like are you okay? Things like that, and it's just, but that's the necessary steps that it takes. I'm out here, I'm breaking barriers. I'm trying to introduce my area of folk to ideas I didn't never really thought of before. I'm trying to bring the community together. I'm trying to inspire the youngins that they can be something beyond themselves. Sometimes we get so caught up into the social stigmas. Sometimes we think that the only thing that we're made to be is a mother, a father, a wife, a husband. But majority of the time, we never really think beyond that. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to show everybody back at home, if I'm able to be a reservation rapper out here in the mainstream world and show the world what the res is like, that has the world listening to my music and they're like, man, this guy makes good music. If I can do that, then you can do whatever it is that you want to do. You can be from the res and you can do great things. You can be from the res and you can be a good person. You can be from the res and you can help each other. Support one another, don't bring each other down. And And if you're from the res, don't ever forget it. Don't ever be ashamed. Don't ever change the res qualities in you just because somebody is not res. Just because people don't understand you. You embrace that. Because there are several generations ahead of you that maybe wanted to be in the position that you're in but couldn't. So I do this for all my res people, and I do this for all the youngins that are questioning what's going to happen after high school. What are the possibilities that I'm successful? It can happen, youngin. It happened for me, and it can happen for you, same way. Do what you gotta do in the class, listen to who you gotta listen to at home. Respect your elders. It's gonna take you far. Make sure you appreciate the people that are in your circle. And make sure you tell people you love them. These are all the little life lessons that I've learned up to this point, youngin. I'm not just talking to the youngins, I'm talking to my brothers, my sisters, my aunties, my uncles. And being from the res is a real special thing. It's a real special thing. You're real intertwined with the community and a lot of the upbringings. With that being said, I thank all of you. I thank all of you once again for for supporting me, for listening to my music, and for wishing me a happy birthday on social media. I'm just so proud of myself. There's not too many times wherever I can sit back and say that, because I'm not really a boastful person. I'm just a person that, appreciates hard work. I'm just a person that appreciates perseverance. And before, those words used to be just words to me. Now when I hear those words, several examples in my life pop up. And I guess that's what experience is. I guess life is one big ceremony. And I learned that from a book that I read in school. Life is one big ceremony. There's ways of going about it. There's ways of fixing things. There's ways of healing. It's all up to you. My uncles always tell me, it's all up to you once you go outside that door. My uncles always say, "Don't anchera," no fear. Matter of fact, I put that on my graduation cap when I graduated high school. Everybody's like, "What's that mean? What's that mean? What's that mean?" And I said, "Don't anchera," no fear. And I seen that because, we were watching footage when my uncles went down to grab peyote in Texas. Or I think at this point, this was back in the day when they were okay to go into Mexico. They went down to Mexico and, one of my late uncles, his name is Tommy, he went and carved that. He carved that into one of the wood benches wherever they were having a picnic at on the way. And it says, like, "Long boys, made it to Mexico." It says, "No manchera," no fear. And I just remember, like, watching that, and it's just, like, it just stuck with me. And at this point, when I first heard it, I was probably, like, 8, 9. And it just, "Don't manchera." That's just where I'm from. That's the family I'm from. My uncles also tell all us kids, don't ever say try. Always go out there and do it. I come from a rodeo family, so the pure example of that is when you're in the roping box and you're about to rope, when you're in the chute and you're about to buck the bull, and you don't ever get in there and you don't ever nod your head and think that you're, "Oh, okay, I'm just gonna go out there and I'm gonna swing it and I'm gonna see if I can get it." No, that's not the way. The way is, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm prepared. I have all this practice behind me. I got all of this experience behind me. I got all these prayers behind me. I got my horse behind me. I got my bull rope behind me. This is how we think. This is how I was brought up. This is how we are from the res. We apply what we know in life to what we know in our hobbies. And that's what gets us through to the next day. And that's what helps us heal our families. And that's what I've seen it. I've seen some of my uncles go from being rowdy in their younger years to now they're very wise. It's possible. It's about the life experiences that you encounter on this journey of life, and it's how you learn from it. And that's not something that I fully understand yet, but it's something that I've been observing. It's something that I've seen that is possible. And this is a little a little insight on me on my birthday. I'm real sentimental about my birthday. It's another year on this earth. It's another year that DNA told me that it's okay for me to watch the sun come up again. They're allowing me to be in a position to self-reflect. And I'm going to take the opportunity. And I thank them every single day, being the net. I try my best to pray every day because that's how I was taught. That's what really got me through a lot of hard times in my life. So that's why I'm sentimental on my birthday. All of these people in my life played a part on how I grew up. And my birthday isn't just a celebration of my existence. My birthday is a celebration of where I'm at right now and how I got here and all the people that helped me get here. So thank you. Thank you, each and every one of you, for sticking by my side. My beautiful girlfriend for cooking for me, for cleaning for me, for just supporting me through this music stuff. It is not easy being with somebody that wants to be an aspiring rap artist. I can't imagine what that's like. I appreciate my best friend, Davin D-Tag, is my producer. We done had this music dream since we done started our friendship. And we've been friends for almost 8-9 years now. Since the college dorm days, homie's the one that knows what's up. Since day one, he knows that all the stuff that I'm rapping about is all this stuff that that he's seen as well, And and also my buddy Isaiah, shout out homie Isaiah King. He's out from Peru, and he's my college buddy as well. So what's so funny is we all played against each other in high school, but when we're out here in the city, we all kind of linked up because Res recognizes Res, same as real recognizes real. And that's just how I feel. We all met up and we all linked up, and now here we are. We got a business going. We got, we got good things happening. And keep your circles close. The people that are really your friends, you'll start to realize who your real buddies are. You'll start to realize who really loves you, even though they don't have to say it. And, also my mother and my father, Christina and Chris, they played a big part in how I came up too. My mom taught me how to pray. I listened to her every day when I was going to school. She'd drop me off at school and I'd hear her pray first. That's kind of how I was taught. And she was real hard on me. I can imagine because, I'm her son. I'm her oldest son. And being the oldest, you got to set the pace for, your siblings. And you got to set the pace for even your cousins that are younger than you. See, I'm the oldest out of my cousins. And that pressure was on me. So I understand it now. Now that I'm older, I understand why they were hard on me, because I was bound for greatness. They seen the potential in me before I did. And sometimes you gotta trust that perspective in people. It may be hard because they're forcing you to make a sacrifice, or they're forcing you to be under pressure. But what you don't understand is that people are putting you there because they believe that you can overcome it. They believe that you're going to come out the other end of that tunnel and you're going to make it. You're going to be somebody great. You're going to contribute to the legacy. So you youngins, if the pressure is on, rise to the occasion. Don't ever fold. Be you. Be true. Everybody will always praise you for that. Don't try to be anything that you're not. Embrace you and love yourself. And, that's kind of all I want to say this morning. And I got up early. I'm going to enjoy my day. I'm going to meet up with my folks. I'm going to hang out with my girl. I'm going to hang out with my dog. I'm just going to soak it in and I'm going to feel good today. And that's how I want you all to feel as well. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Happy birthday to me, L.O.G Res. And for my birthday, all I ask is that you all listen to my music on Apple Music, Spotify. You watch my vlogging videos on YouTube. You tell your buddies about me. That's all I asked for my birthday, because I couldn't ask for anything else. When you're at my age and you have a birthday, you start to realize you can get whatever it is that you want. You can buy yourself any gift that you want. But the thing that you really do want as a birthday gift is the priceless stuff. The stuff that you can't buy. So now my mentality is transitioning, It used to be like, oh, it's my birthday, I'm going to see what I can get out of it. But now it's my birthday and I'm just going to see how I can enjoy it. The weird thing about growing up, right? I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a great day. And peep my music. L.O.G, go on there. Yeah.